Nurses under the aegis of Nigerian Nurses Voice have urged Nursing and Midwifery Council Nigeria to focus on improving rather than revising guidelines for certificate verification. This follows the directives of the House of Representatives on February 27, 2024 to the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria to suspend the implementation of their recently revised guidelines for certificate verification. The nurses have accused the council of lack of adherence. Now, speaking on behalf of the nurses during a protest at the Lagos State House of Assembly, the group's Lagos State coordinator, Thomas Abiodun, says the professional institution has ignored the directive of the National House of Assembly to revert to status quo.
We want the Nursing Council to reverse the new verification guidelines. We want the council to fight for proper placements of nurses in service. We want nurses to fight for increments in hazard allowance for nurses. We want the association to also stand up in defense of nurses instead of coercing us. These verification guidelines with stringent rules is just an act of human rights violation, because as nurses we are going through a lot. There are lots of nurses that are unemployed. There are lots of nurses that are still employed but not being well paid. These verification guidelines is affecting everybody, not just nurses in Nigeria alone. And those of us in Nigeria, some of us, our education have been halted just because of this verification. We cannot write some exams, especially final year exams, because without verification there is nothing we can do. If our demands are not met within 72 hours, we will still take to the streets. And this time around, I will not restrict the civil societies joining us like I have restricted them now. I will allow them to bring all their members and will flood the streets.
The demand is simple. The federal government should meet the plights and the demands of nurses. In regards to their verification, it should not be more than 24 hours. In regards to their enumeration, it should commensurate with the indices, economic indices in Nigeria. They should look into nurses' education and provide grants to nurse to study, and also as well to provide a better working condition.
When we talk about job insecurities, there are so many people that are working in the private sectors that their jobs are not secured. They don't even have, they are paid peanuts. Most at times, this quackery of a thing, they tend to choose the auxiliary nurses. I call them auxiliary doctors because they are trained by doctors. So the auxiliaries, those quack nurses, take the places of the registered nurses because the private sectors cannot afford to pay the registered nurses. So this is bringing about unemployment. This is bringing about unemployment for Nigerian registered nurses, who in turn has spent a whole lot. They really spent fortune in their training.